Hi everybody, Tracy Brown here. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my, history with body positivity. And not so much my personal history, because I want to make this more about you. I'll just say for myself that it took me a really long time to get okay with my body, but I didn't really, back in, again, 1997, the word body positivity wasn't really there. The word intuitive eating was barely there. And so it just took me a long time to get comfortable being okay with my body, let alone liking it. So I would say almost nearly a decade, to be honest. And again, only because there weren't a lot of resources to encourage me to do that. And now there's so much. So I'm so grateful in so many ways that so many people who come off of different backgrounds talk about body positivity. But prior to the last couple years, I really personally wasn't that aware of it, even though I've been in intuitive eating, nutrition therapy, counseling to help, that's my job, is to help people in that process. And, coming from a health at every size background, that's where my, orientation towards body positivity came. It wasn't like the goal here was about you have to love your body. It was more about, hey, like physiologically, we all have a set point range and we don't have much say over that. Our eating and our movement level impacts that to some extent, definitely. For me personally, honestly, the more active I am, the bigger I get. That's just how my body responds. So if you ever see me walk around and I'm at like looking like I weigh a little less, it's probably because I'm doing like zero movement. As soon as I do, I gain more muscle and body fat. That's just kind of how I roll. So of course, I feel better when I, do that activity just physiologically. So it's a good thing. So anyway, but that's in a range. You're not going to see me personally like get a lot lower or a lot higher because I'm an intuitive eater. And so my weight will only fluctuate in a certain range. And that's been pretty true, for me since I've been on this process. So anyway, from my, from my education and from my experience over the last 11 plus years, it's been about from the orientation of health at every size, that we have the body we have based on, some of it depends on our health behaviors, but most of it's really about like what our bodies need to be and the experiences we've been through and the amount of able-bodiedness we have. And so it wasn't until it seems like the last, I don't know how many years, 5 years, that the word body positive has been around a lot, and we have all this social media that talk about that, loving your body. And so what I want to tell you, that it's okay if that's confusing, that if you feel like that you first start this process, you don't have to go from like, oh my gosh, I can barely be in my own skin, let alone love my body. And so I've always had the mantra, let's start with hating our bodies less. And it's so much easier to care for something that we don't hate. And so that's where I suggest, sorry that I moved my phone, that we all start from a place of, how do I want to feel, and what's the body feedback I'm getting, and what feels best in the body I have at this moment. And so that's how I think we work towards body positivity, if that's our goal. But really, I'm all about body neutrality and being as embodied in the actual physical form we have. And if it changes, that's what's supposed to happen, and that's how it is. And obviously, that I believe, with intuitive eating, it's a very weight neutral process. So if you eat what you need, you'll be at the body weight you need to be at for whatever it is that's happening in your life. And remembering that our bodies are never static, things are constantly changing. Even if you're around the same weight that you were, 10 years ago, you might feel different in your body, and that could be from a whole lot of factors. And so we work with that as best we can, and listen to our body feedback to make any adjustments in movement, sleep, the supplements we take, the food we eat, the amount of rest we need. As I get older, I notice that probably I have a less tolerance overall for BS, and so I tend to need more quiet time than I ever used to need. Again, we're always changing. And so from a body positive perspective, if that whole scene, it feels confusing to you, not a big deal. Everybody's journey is different. You don't have to go after that or want that. But if you love that movement of posting pictures of yourself wearing jeans that actually fit you versus trying to like squeeze into the clothes that don't, or whatever works for you. Love it and go for it. And just know that like if somebody else doesn't do it the way you do it, that's kind of their way too. I will say one caveat that I don't believe that purposely losing weight is necessarily a body positive thing, because I truly believe that you can have improved health outcomes without trying to lose weight. I know some people disagree with that, and that's cool. Again, I just come from a health at every size perspective that is not so much about geared toward you have to love your body, but it's more about if you so choose, taking care of your body, the one you have, the best way you can. And if you choose to do that, of course, that's always first and foremost. This is about liberation, so you don't have to care about any of this stuff. But if you do, there's practices that you can experiment with to help you. So I hope that clears some stuff up about just in general what you might see in here. You know my stance on it now, hopefully, clearly. And I just support you all in whatever way feels good to you. And I would love to hear what seems to work great for you, what things turn you off, and how come. One, just for you to have a place to share that, and two, I want to be as inclusive as I can for people, and I certainly have empathy and compassion from where we all come from, and how deeply we've dipped our toes into these waters, and know how you feel now may be different than how you feel in a year, and that's cool too. And I think it's always an evolving process. All right, well, thank you so much, and do your best till we talk next time to work towards being just a little tiny bit more okay with your body. All right, thank you. Take care. Bye.